Last week, we watched season 1, episode 24 of Scrubs, and Jordan just absolutely annihilated basically every one of our favorite characters. Today, we are watching season 2, episode 1 of our favorite Scrubs. If you guys are new here, I'm JesstheMD. Thank you so much for joining me. With that, let's jump right in.
No!
I slept with him, and it was good. Oh. Bye.
Call it wishful thinking, but I couldn't shake this feeling that this was nothing more than a very, very bad dream.
Good morning, Tiger.
Of course, I've been wrong before.
How can you let a woman kick you out of your own bed?
Baby, why you gotta be so cranky in the morning?
This is unacceptable. You said we were gonna sleep head to foot.
Dude, either way, the naughty bits are still in the middle.
Yeah, but with the head to foot alignment, there's no way for them to lock in.
Could you be more homophobic?
I'm not. Ready to go?
The naughty bits are still in the middle. I forgot about that part. Truly, I forgot about it.
I just wish one of my relationships could be back to normal.
Whoa. Looks like someone switched to big boy pants a little too soon.
Oh, that's very clever. It looks like I wet myself. Do you actually think that that's funny?
Yeah.
A bunch of you guys commented that in the first season, Janitor was actually supposed to be a figment of JD's imagination, and that in this season, the second season, they were actually going to make him a real character. Now I am paying very close attention to who Janitor interacts with. I literally didn't know that and never paid attention to it before. So for anyone that didn't know it, PSA, apparently Janitor was in JD's imagination supposedly during the first season. And thank you to everyone who let me know about that, because I had no clue. I thought I was a diehard Scrubs fan, but apparently I was not nearly as much of a fan as you guys, and I'm a little bit jealous that I didn't know about this before.
You know, Bob, I've been thinking about all the times that you've manipulated me and toyed with me, and, well, I can't help but recall that children's fable about the race between the tortoise and the pain-in-the-ass chief of medicine that everybody hates. You see, Bob, the pain-in-the-ass chief of medicine that everybody hates kept running out in front of the tortoise and taunting him, but right at the end, oh gosh, I'm sure you remember what happened, Bob. The tortoise bit clean through the chief of medicine's calf muscle, dragged him to the ground where he and all the other turtles devoured him alive right there on the racetrack. It's a disturbing children's book, Bob, I know, but it's one that stuck with me nonetheless.
I absolutely freaking love Dr. Cox. I can definitely understand how Cox is extremely angry with Kelso. I'm angry with Kelso for him. That was honestly unacceptable. Yes, it's entirely possible that Jordan had some access to information because she's part of the board, but if there was already a new residency director there, the doctor would physically be there doing things. So if that is the case, then yeah, Dr. Cox probably should have known about it. Regardless, Kelso's being a total douche tool.
And just like that, it was my turn to face the music. Steady now. Be brave. Don't cry.
Good morning.
What the hell?
Stark difference from how Dr. Cox was with JD at the end of the last episode. He was pretty pissed. The thing is, was he pissed about the Kelso thing? Was he pissed about the Jordan thing? Honestly, I vaguely recall that Dr. Cox was pissed at JD, but at the same time, they are divorced. Jordan can sleep with whomever she likes, and same with JD. So maybe Dr. Cox is being the bigger person and being okay with it. Somehow I seriously doubt that, but we can have some wishful thinking, can't we?
Now, Mr. Zerbo was initially admitted with a high fever and suspected meningitis, but both the head CT and the lumbar puncture came back negative.
Yeah, sir, I have a full patient load. I don't understand how you can just drop this guy in my lap and expect to make him a top priority.
You want me to say ta-da, so it seems more like a trick? Mr. Zerbo back there is a major hospital benefactor, and by golly, you know it's a lot harder to write a big fat check if you're dead.
Neurology, rheumatology, hematology. This guy's been turfed to every service in the hospital. No one knows what's wrong with him. What do you want me to do?
When you have a patient that has an illness that you can't quite figure out, you don't just turf him from service to service. Usually all these services will actually be working together to try and figure out what's going on. So rheumatology, infectious disease, neurology, all of them, they're gonna be involved to try and get to the bottom of what's going on with this person. JD getting this patient He's a resident. He's not going to be the one to single-handedly figure out what's going on with this patient. He's going to try and he's going to work on it with the rest of the team. But when you have a patient, especially that's got something that's confusing, that is not presenting normally, that you can't quite figure out what's going on with them, it is a team sport. Let me repeat, it is a team sport to try and figure out what's going on with them and then help them get better.
Baby, I should have told you how Cox felt about you, and I was wrong for talking behind your back, which is a violation of the trust our relationship is based on. And that is why I'm sorry.
My boy's got mad apologizing skills.
Todd, not now.
You can't just point out the obvious. You have to go deeper. And Todd, if you say that's what she said, I will bring you. Now come on, baby. Connect with me. Why am I really upset?
I'm gonna stick with the violation of trust thing, final answer.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I must say, from a relationship standpoint, you cannot expect the other person to read your mind, ever. Male, female, I don't really care. We can't read each other's minds necessarily. I mean, sometimes that happens unexpectedly, but you can't expect it, and you definitely cannot expect it in a fight. Turk's idea of why she's mad is honestly what I would think. I am very curious to find out why Carla's actually mad.
Sorry, Mom, it's just that it's gotten really awkward with this guy that I was seeing, and yes, Mom, yay, I'm straight. Look, I don't know what to do. I mean, every time I see him, I get so embarrassed and lonely and mortified, and I guess I was just hoping that you could... about 115 pounds? Fen kills people, Mom. Because I'm a doctor, that's how I know.
She is not wrong. Fen actually did kill people. There are two parts to that medication. There's fenfluramine and phentermine. Phentermine is actually still on the market today and used to help with weight loss. Fenfluramine, on the other hand, was shown to cause potentially fatal pulmonary hypertension and heart valve issues. Also, not to mention, Elliot definitely does not need to lose weight. And if I'm remembering numbers correctly, in one of the future episodes that we watched where she was dealing with a patient that was having issues with weight, she weighed 118 pounds there, so even more than she weighs now, and even then she had a really low BMI. So this is problematic in terms of weight and body dysmorphia and body image issues. Her mom is really sucky for putting her in that position.
Okay, fine, I'm sorry I slept with your ex-wife.
I think I'll sit back down.
It was an accident.
Look, first of all, it's not like you tripped and fell into her, and then out of her, and then into her again. And second of all, you're smart enough to know that I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to know where you did it. I don't even want to know how it was.
A little scary.
Sorry, jitters.
And here come the fireworks.
Look it. I know you didn't have any idea who she was, and I understand why you were too nervous to tell me. So what do you say we leave it at that? I forgive you. You are forgiven. Okay?
Well, that was mighty big of him. Wow. That was rational, that was logical, and honestly, I probably should have expected it from Dr. Cox, because despite his difficult and tough shell of an exterior, he actually has a good heart, and he actually has a very, very, very smart mind. I can see JD continuing to freak out about this, though.
I have no idea how to treat this patient. Help me out. Now she's in a really awkward place, so just be sensitive. I think we should sex each other.
I'm sorry?
Just hear me out. Our relationship ended so quickly. Maybe too quickly, you know? And now there's like these feelings floating around, and I feel like we're always gonna regret it if we don't see if they lead somewhere. What do you think?
I can't believe how weird it feels to be back here again. Yeah. But it's so right.
One of the most fantastic misdirects I've seen in a bit.
Yeah, you know what's weird though? It's like Dr. Cox and I are pretty vegan kosher.
He hasn't yelled at you?
No.
This is a guy that screamed on you for like 20 minutes for dropping a thermometer, and he hasn't raised his voice once about you bumping uglies with his ex-wife?
I don't get that guy. And that's when I realized something.
Hey, where you been? I paged you twice.
Must have misplaced my pager. The reason Dr. Cox wasn't yelling at me like he used to.
Huh. Probably ought to try to find that.
He didn't care about me anymore.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Cox shows love with anger. He doesn't not care about JD, though. We know that. He's just angry about the situation and trying to process. And instead of showing JD that he loves him by screaming, he's being calm and collected so that he can process.
And it wasn't just me and Dr. Cox who weren't getting along. Everyone was just drifting through the halls, each one of us acting like the others didn't exist.
Honestly, isn't it crazy how just one person can do something, say something that totally, really negatively affects so many people? Thinking deeper on that, I'm like, I know Jordan meant to start a fire, but man, this is like a raging fire.
Ha! Too slow! What now, Mr. Smart Guy? That is so not funny.
Wet butt.
It gets better.
Is he starting to burn?
I would think so. Hey, don't touch your eyes.
Oh my God, someone interacted with janitor, even if for only a second of janitor handing something off. It happened.
Dr. Cox, you're angry with me.
No, I'm not.
And you won't admit this, but you're in love with Carla.
No, he's not.
Actually, I am.
You're starting again.
And Carla, you're mad that Turk didn't trust you enough to tell you.
See, trust, woman, trust.
Whatever, the point is that Turk is sorry.
Not anymore.
I can't believe you thought he was a threat.
I'm a threat.
You're not in love with me. You idealize me.
You're just trying to stay focused.
You mad because I'm scared of losing you?
Yes, because we're stronger than that.
Apparently not.
You should be glad I never took our relationship for granted, you silly woman.
If we could just refrain from name calling.
Oprah's right. Lay off of him.
You're just pissed because you're still in love with your ex.
Okay, that's it. Now, I've killed for so much less than that, and I'll damn sure do it again unless you all shut the hell up right now and... I mean now!
So Carla's mad because Turk didn't believe in the strength of their relationship. I still feel like this falls under the trust category, like trusting that your relationship is strong enough. Am I wrong? I must have missed something. And Cox finally yelled again. It's starting. He loves them. He loves them all so much.
Aren't you glad we did this?
I'm going out for Mexican food tonight. And I'll see you in bed, my friend.
Oh my God, Rounds. Round started 5 minutes ago and I totally forgot about Mr. Zerbo. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
How did he forget about his patient? Like the reason he's in the hospital. I get that there's a lot of like personal stuff going on, but what? The reason he's in the hospital as a resident is to take care of his patients and get some training. What?
You did nothing?
Nothing at all.
Great job, sport.
Huh?
Whenever a patient gets bounced from ward to ward, there's always a chance a high fever could be sustained or even caused by the constant stream of different antibiotics. It's called drug fever. And it's a good catch by Dr. Dorian.
That was totally accidental, obviously. If he did nothing, though, does that mean he didn't stop the medications this person was on? Like, I still see some IVs hanging there. There are a whole bunch of medications that actually can cause a fever. There are other situations like post-surgical fevers. I mean, there's a whole bunch of reasons for someone to have a fever that's not necessarily something really dangerous. If it's a drug fever, just stopping the medication can make the fever go away. As long as everything is pretty normal on this guy's tests, he probably is going to be fine. In medicine, things often declare themselves. So if it's going to get worse, it's going to get worse. And if it's going to get better, it's going to get better. And sometimes you just need to give it time to declare itself if you're really unsure of what's going on. If someone, for example, has vague abdominal pain and you've done all of the tests to try and figure out what's going on, you've figured out that at least it's something not dangerous right now, then we can give it time to declare itself. We still want to figure out what's going on. We still want to manage the pain. But if we don't have any kind of clues as to what's going on, like I said, sometimes you just got to give it time to try and figure out what is happening.
Thank you, Doctor.
Oh, no problem. It's funny. I guess sometimes when you do nothing at all, things just have a way of fixing themselves.
One thing I will say with that is, yes, that's absolutely true. For example, when someone has a viral upper respiratory infection, for the most part, we don't have antiviral medications to treat the common cold. We have Tamiflu to treat the flu, we have Paxlovid for COVID, but we don't really have any other antivirals. We have to give the body time to heal itself. And so we do all we can with supportive care, with supportive therapies. Really, it's about helping the body and strengthening the body to heal itself.
Do you know how I know that this is yours, Farah? Because when I paged you earlier, someone found it next to a can of Fresca and a dog-eared copy of Teen People magazine. Anyway, long story short, the whole incident gave me a bang-up idea because, you see, I've got tomorrow off. So I'm gonna be on my couch sipping on some scotch and paging you every 20 seconds, and if you don't answer every damn last one of them, I'm gonna shove this thing so far down your throat it's gonna make you take a tinkle every time it goes off. Big fun, right? You're gonna need this. Oh! Oh! Let it come. Let it come. Wow!
Ah, it's good to be home. Sort of.
Cox does love him and cares for him. See, sometimes you just gotta give it time. Things will declare themselves. Things will often get better. What a great episode. This was a fantastic little bow tie on top of the mess dumpster fire that we ended the last episode on. If you guys enjoyed this, please leave a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel. It really helps a girl out. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Jess the MD. I really enjoyed spending time with you. I hope you enjoyed spending time with me, and I will see you in the very next one. Bye.